As a result of an ongoing shortage of vehicles, purchasers frequently spend hundreds or even thousands of dollars more than the quoted price, which causes friction between automobile manufacturers and independent dealers. The manufacturer's suggested retail price, often known as the MSRP, has lately come under fire from automakers Ford and General Motors because dealers ignore it. GM considers this behavior unethical. Toyota, on the other hand, takes a very different strategy to determine the MSRP of their vehicles. In this video, we'll reveal how dealers are overpricing vehicles, causing consumers to cough up more than is required. So buckle up and get ready to explore this mucky and hidden world of MSRP on cars by dealerships. Before we get started, don't forget to smash the subscribe button and turn on the post notification bell. With that done, here's the crazy story of why you pay more for your car at the dealership. The prices of brand new vehicles in the United States is higher than ever, and some leading manufacturers are starting to point the finger of blame in the direction of the dealerships where these vehicles are sold. According to J.D. Power, an analytics company, the average price of a vehicle sold at Ford is increasing at a rate higher than the company's income from the sale of automobiles. This indicates that dealers are pocketing a sizable percentage of the profits generated by the company. According to James Farley, the company's chief executive officer, 10% of dealers in Ford's network overcharged consumers in the previous year for vehicles by charging more than the suggested sticker price. And it's not Ford alone. The previous month, General Motors issued a warning to dealers who were increasing the pricing of automobiles. The historically competitive market is driving General Motors and Ford to compete for customers, altering the power balance between the two companies and their respective dealerships. But how do dealers overprice cars? When automakers sell their automobiles to dealerships, they usually propose a retail price for the vehicles, but the dealerships are not compelled to accept the recommendation. In the last year, there's been a lack of microchips in addition to other supply chain challenges, which has made it difficult for manufacturers to produce sufficient quantities of vehicles to meet the demands of customers. And because of this, prices for both brand new and pre-owned automobiles have risen to unprecedented levels in the industry. According to Kelley Blue Book, the average price of a brand new car sold in the United States in December was over $47,000. This is an increase of approximately $6,000 compared to the same month the previous year. A few years ago, car dealers rarely sold vehicles for more than the price listed on the window sticker. However, that pattern started to shift the previous year. Compared to just 0.2% of car sales in 2019, 80.3% of cars built in the US in January were sold for more than their manufacturer's suggested retail price. Even though price increases are expected in today's automotive market, the most expensive models in the United States typically have a base price already higher than the market average. For instance, Mercedes-Benz advises that dealers set the price of its luxurious G-Class sedan at $168,868. Yet dealers are already charging clients an average of $176,299. As the automotive industry in the United States accelerates its transition to electric cars, competing manufacturers such as Tesla, which bypass dealerships in favor of selling its products directly to end users, pose a challenge to GM, Ford, and Toyota. In the meantime, the popularity of new cars built by traditional manufacturers to better compete in the EV market strengthens the argument of certain dealers for price gouging. As a result of allegations that they were being promoted for as much as $30,000 more than their sticker price, Ford expressly urged dealers not to boost pricing for its electric F-150 pickup last month, and at least one dealer adjusted their strategy as a result of this warning. So how is Toyota betting on GM and Ford on this? One of the primary reasons for Toyota's success in the highly competitive auto industry is how the company deals with dishonest dealers that artificially inflate their inventory prices. In contrast to many other manufacturers, Toyota has instituted stringent policies and processes to ensure that its dealerships operate just and openly. While maintaining the reliability of the Toyota brand, this strategy has resulted in an increase in customer loyalty as well as trust. When dishonest dealerships mark up the price of a car, they are, in effect, taking advantage of their customers. This action can potentially undermine consumer trust and damage the company's reputation. Early on, Toyota was made aware of this issue and quickly instituted measures to prevent dishonest dealers from continuing to conduct business in this manner. For instance, Toyota dealerships are required to adhere to stringent pricing laws, which ensures that customers are charged a reasonable price for the vehicles they purchase. Because of this, customers who buy a car from a Toyota dealership can be sure they're getting a fair price for the vehicle they want. In addition to having guidelines in place for pricing, Toyota also has a system in place for evaluating the performance of its dealerships. Toyota can identify shady dealerships that engage in unethical practices, such as marking up the price of autos and other forms of price gouging with this method. Toyota takes prompt action to address and resolve any problems that are identified. This may involve terminating the dealership's contract or providing further training to the company to ensure that it operates honestly and transparently. Other manufacturers, such as GM and Ford, which have come under criticism for limiting dealer involvement in agreements, have an approach substantially different from Toyota's when dealing with problematic dealers. If you limit dealer participation, it may seem like a good strategy to curb unethical activity on the side of rogue dealerships, but it may also result in less monitoring of the dealership, which may cause customers to become more skeptical and mistrustful, which might be detrimental to the brand's reputation. The pricing approach that Toyota employs is predicated on a simple premise, which is to offer customers a reasonable price for a high-quality product. This indicates that Toyota does not choose its prices based on what the market is willing to bear. Instead, it bases its prices on the cost of production and an appropriate profit margin. Because of this tactic, purchasers are assured of receiving a reasonable price for the vehicle they purchase without needing to negotiate or worry about additional fees. On the other hand, several major automakers such as General Motors and Ford have been criticized for their pricing techniques. These companies have been accused of raising their prices while simultaneously offering discounts that can only be accessed by a select group of customers, which can lead to customer misunderstanding and mistrust. It's possible that this may eventually influence the company's overall reputation, making it more challenging to win the allegiance of long-term customers. What can be done about these marked-up prices? The warnings from Ford and GM shed light on the tense undercurrents between traditional automakers and dealers. These undercurrents have become more severe lately due to newcomer electric car manufacturers like Tesla, Rivian, and Lucid selling directly to customers. In recent years, legacy manufacturers, who typically must sell their products through dealerships due to state regulation, have openly investigated the possibility of employing direct-to-consumer sales strategies. Analysts warn that rising dealership prices and differences over sales direction might hamper growth in the nation's still emerging electric vehicle sector, while dealers worry that consumers will follow the direct sales path of EV startups, pushing legacy automakers out of a market expected to grow to nearly $1 trillion by 2030. Legacy automakers are betting on consumers switching to electric vehicles. Should car companies move away from using dealer marked-up prices and instead use predetermined prices? There doesn't appear to be any sign of an end to the enormous markup that dealerships put on brand new autos that are either in high demand or have limited availability. Customers are the ones who are actually footing the bill. The rise in costs can be attributed to a combination of factors, including recent developments on the global stage and the steady production by manufacturers of goods in great demand. One of the most prominent illustrations of this phenomenon is the recent release of the Ford Bronco, which had been avidly anticipated for such a protracted period that when it finally appeared on the market, everyone was yelling to get their hands on one. Electric vehicles such as the Ford F-150 Lightning are among the worst offenders in this category. The first electric car produced by the firm has already reached its yearly sales quota and is completely sold out. Markups are already above 200% before the subsequent batch of vehicles has even made it to the dealerships, in some cases of the $40,000 truck being sold for somewhere near $150,000. Before we get to the last issue on dealers' MSRPs, a thumbs up and a sub to the channel would be awesome if you're enjoying the video. Now to the last fact, let's talk about how this MSRP issue can be fixed. The biggest question is it possible to sell automobiles to end users without using any dealerships in the middle of the transaction? Should manufacturers sell their products to dealerships at the recommended retail price or MSRP, or should they employ a set price instead? Tesla has previously effectively adopted this concept. Since the beginning of the automobile industry in the United States more than a century ago, sales of automobiles have been conducted in the same manner, and several rules have been established to specify how this activity is to be carried out. However, Tesla now sells its products straight to customers, cutting out the dealerships as a middleman. Instead of relying on a traditional dealer network, which stands to profit from the sale of the brand's autos, Tesla's sales strategy prioritizes the establishment of stores, which are locations open to potential buyers who are interested in learning more about the company's products but are under no obligation to make a purchase. The consumer who is interested in buying an automobile has the option of completing the transaction totally online. The process removes the use of high-pressure sales tactics by car dealerships and the opportunity to mark up costs of vehicles to absurd levels to boost earnings on models in high demand. Every single Tesla model is in high demand, and there haven't been any complaints about excessive price increases, so it's clear that the process is successful. Should other firms move away from publishing a manufacturer's recommended retail price in favor of a set vehicle pricing model similar to Tesla's? Or is the presence of a dealership beneficial to the community's economy and an essential part of purchasing a car? And that's how dealers are overpricing cars and getting away with it. What do you think about the dealers' MSRPs? And do you think that car manufacturers should be concerned about these MSRPs? Let us know what you think in the comments section, and until the next one, peace.